Okay, so I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So now I have to read or say this whole spiel again, and I'm sure it won't be as good. But I hope you guys enjoy. Please like and subscribe if you want to. Also, if you leave a comment, that would be great. Because I love reading the comments, even though I think I've had 3. Anyway, so this is my review for Malice by Pintip Dunn. I got this book in my subscription box, and I read it in February. When I got it, it was actually an ARC, but by the time I read it, the book had already come out. So, this isn't a very good free read for this book. However, if you haven't gotten it because you're waiting to see what other people think, I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. So this book, if you don't know already from my vlogs, or if you just don't know in general, this book follows a girl named Alice, and Alice is pretty normal. Oh guys, look. So in my video that didn't record, you have to meet 2 cats, but that's Ripley. He apparently didn't want to be picked up, even though normally he's okay with it. Come here, Ripley. I want to introduce you to people. Come here, Rips. Come here, Ripley. Ripley, come here. Come here, Ripley. Oh, hi, Ripley. Come here. Come here. So this is Ripley. Stop it. I'm trying to introduce you to people. Normally he's okay with me picking him up. Oh well, anyway, so this follows Alice, and she's kind of average intelligence in her own opinion. She's not like this super genius like her younger brother Archie. And one day she is visited by this voice who tells her that she is the only person who can stop this guy in the future from creating this virus that kills 2/3 of the population. And there's some tension there. You find out that, the voice might not be telling the truth. Go figure, right? So I'm going to start off by saying I love the cover. This is not the reason I gave the book the 5 stars, but look at it. It's so pretty. Perfect. Isn't it perfect? Okay. Also, kind of fits the idea. Like, I don't even know what all of this is, but it kind of fits, like, the idea behind the book. Alright, so let's go through reasons that I love it. So, reason number 1, the characters are interesting and I love their development. Particularly a character named Bandits, but Alice's development is actually very good too. The plot was engaging and it was fast-paced. I was not bored for a single second in this book, and I don't think y'all will be either. I also liked how Pintip Dunn wrapped it all up. It was amazing, everything tied together, and there was still this idea that the evil genius or the virus could come out anyway, but that might have been a spoiler. Oh well. But that stuff like that could happen. Alright, let's get into a deeper look into the characters. So I kind of labeled 2 characters as the main character. There was Alice, but then I also kind of had a second character as older Alice. And I kind of developed, or kind of put them as the 2 main characters, with there being almost a mid-level kind of character. Well, these characters aren't necessarily the main character, they're also not necessarily side characters. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. I'm not sure if you guys understand, but I'll hopefully give you better descriptions when I get into them. So Alice, I like her because she's relatable. Even though I was good at math and science in high school, I related to some of her struggles. I also related to her interest, maybe not necessarily all of her interests, but that she had this side hobby that she really loved. I love reading and writing. And so the side hobby that kind of was the main aspect of her life and all that. She's kind of, I don't want to say quirky because I feel like everyone says quirky. She has her quirks about her. Um, she's also she's really nice, and she has like this moral compass that keeps her pretty much straight. And she's an amazing sister to Archie. I love her as a sister. And one of the funniest parts, and I don't know if this is a spoiler, so if you want to skip ahead, you can. I don't know if you would consider this a spoiler, but I love how she takes care of Archie and the fact that she's always cooking for him, even though she's a horrible cook. Like, she's good at baking, but like when it comes to like real food, she's horrible. I think she's good at baking. She might also be bad at baking. I forgot. Older Alice. I love when she's there. There's like this added layer of mystery. Oh, guys, this is Midnight. I don't know if you can see her. Midnight, come here. No biting. No biting. This is Midnight. She does not like being held, so I'm setting her down. You can see her tail. She's gonna destroy my mattress in protest now. Don't bite me. Okay. And she's a bit odd, and it's very interesting because she's a bit odd and all of that. Okay, so the kind of main side characters, I guess is how I'll say that. Please do not knock my camera off. Okay. So there are two main side characters, and these are Archie and Bandit. Now, Archie is the brother, and Bandit is the love interest. And these are the two characters that I meant were like the mid-level like characters. They're not necessarily main characters, but they aren't necessarily like the other side characters. They are more important to the story, and you learn more about them, basically, I think is what I'm trying to say. So Archie, he is the stereotypical nerd. He's super smart, he doesn't have a lot of friends, and he's bullied. But it works. So, like, he is a stereotype, but it fits within the story well, and she uses it in a different way than normal people, or not normal people, but other people have in the past. And he's kind of relatable in the I'm an introvert kind of way. So there is that. Bandit is the love interest. He starts off as a jerk, but not the I'm gonna bully you and beat you up jerk, but the I'm so smart, I'm gorgeous, everyone loves me jerk. But you kind of learn more about him as Alice learns more about him, and I think overall he has the best development. Now, this might be because this is a first-person book, and so we only really know about Alice, and so you don't know Bandit except in the peripheral of Alice, and then I think she didn't even know him all that well until she started talking to him, and she didn't really start talking to him until they were both in high school. You know more about Archie through Alice because Alice grew up with Archie and all of that. So other side characters like Zeke, Lalana, and Christella, they're great, but you don't really, and they are important to the story, and they do help Alice along, but they're not so involved in the story as Alice, older Alice, Bandit, and Archie are. Those four, I would kind of say they're main characters, except Alice is practically the only main character. Zeke and Archie are best friends, but there is some tension caused by the fact that they're both really smart and both trying to go somewhere. Or go to get specific awards, go to the same college. It's just, they're kind of both fighting to be the best. Lalana and Alice are also best friends, but there's like this kind of minor tension around the fact of, or minor tension caused by the voice and also a little bit by Bandit. Now, I will say, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I know people are turned off by this trope. There is not a love triangle in this. like, Lalana and Alice are not fighting over Bandit. There's not a love triangle. So, I will mention that. Bandit. Okay, wait, I already talked about Bandit. Christella. You don't even really know anything about Christella until later on in the book. You kind of know she's smart. You kind of know she's been nice. All that. But you don't really interact with Christella all that much. She, maybe more so than the other two, help Alice with this mystery that's going on and discovering who the true evil genius is, what actually happened, and so and so. Alright, from here on out will be the spoilery reasons for this, or spoilery thoughts to this book. And I will say it not carefully. I will give you a few seconds. I know some people put up spoiler warning or something and then immediately start talking. You haven't even had time to click off before they're like blah 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 and spoil the book for you. I had that happen watching somebody's vlog. She was vlogging about reading people's most disappointing books of 2019, I believe. And then I hadn't read the book. I owned it and wanted to, but I hadn't read it. And she said spoiler warnings, and she put it up, and then immediately, and I hadn't even had time to click. So there's that. But I'll give you guys a few minutes. I'll count down from 5, and if you guys hadn't clicked off, it's not my fault anymore. That's Ripley, by the way. Spoiler, the cat meowing is Ripley. Now, so, the twist. I love the twist. So, the older Alice leads Alice to believe that Bandit, her love interest, is the mass murderer. I loved it. It was the way she did it, the way older Alice kind of left all these clues in her head was great. I enjoyed it. However, I think what I loved even more than the fact that she was led to believe this is that it was not the true outcome. Bandit was not the mass murderer things would be. There is... Do you have to do that right now, Ripley? I enjoyed that. I also kind of enjoyed, this is a little bit off topic from the twist, I enjoyed the aspect or the relationship between Alice and Archie and their dad, because the mom left, just one night stormed out and left, and there's some tension between Alice and her dad where she doesn't really think her dad loves her anymore, but he does, and I think it's like he didn't. I forgot why he pretend like he acted distant to her. I remember liking the reason, and I was like, not liking it, but like thinking it was not a good reason. Gosh, thinking it made sense, I guess. So back on topic to the twist. I guessed the ending. I kind of got misled and thought I was wrong, but I had guessed the ending. Not so much how the book itself ended, but who was the evil genius. And that's Archie. And I loved it. It was so amazing. I loved it. And the way she dealt with it. How she convinced him not to create this virus, or that it would be wrong to do it, and that she shot him, and then she ran into like homecoming or prom, I forgot which one, and she's like, help, my brother was shot, and like 15 people, and these 15 people were like, oh my gosh, Archie, are you okay? And so she proved to him, instead of just saying don't do it, people care about it, she proved it to him, because actions speak louder than words. And it was great. Also, there's like this added layer behind this lie. And so older Alice lied to younger Alice that Bandit was the murderer. by... What was it? Sorry, I'm trying to find something. And it adds this tension because eventually she goes to kill Bandit. And I'm trying to find it because I love this chapter and I'm going to read it to y'all because I want to. Also, she's very funny. I will come back to that though. I'm trying to find it though. I really want to read this to y'all. Hey, knock it off! Okay, so it's chapter 37. I found it. I'm going to read some of it to you. So she's in his room. She finds out something that leads her to believe that Archie is the one that is going to kill, or who is going to create the virus and kill everyone. And so she gets kind of lightheaded from this shocking discovery, and it says, I sway. The room spins dizzily around me, the blue light messing up my sense of direction. I stumble, and my knees crash into something hard and metal. I pitch forward, and oomph. I land in a heap on top of solid muscle and taut skin. Bandit. He jerks awake, and then I'm flying through the air, my back slapping against the firm mattress. Within seconds, he's got my wrists above my head, and the rest of my body pinned underneath him. Good instincts, this guy. His mouth drops when he gets a look at me. What the... Alice, what's going on? What are you doing here? The sight of his bare skin sends a jolt through me, scattering my thoughts even further. There's just so much of it on his chest, on his torso, on the legs nestled against mine. His thighs pressed down on me, and the contact is too much, too confusing. I put my hands on his chest and push with all my strength. Startled, he eases back, letting go of my hands. He sweeps his gaze over my body, taking in the black knit hat, my long-sleeved back shirt, black joggers, my sneakers. My sneakers, you guessed it, black. Not exactly the outfit you would wear if your intent was to seduce. The realization registers on his face. You have exactly 10 seconds to tell me what this is about, or I'm calling the police, he growls. My heart leaps into my throat, and my eyes dart all over the room, searching for an escape. No exit materializes, unfortunately. So basically, she gets a little, oh my god, he can't call the police. He starts counting down. I have no other choice. Reaching up, I press my mouth against his, warm, just as I remember. Soft, like I'll never forget. So basically, she makes out with him. And so that they pull away, and he's like, don't. He pants as we both sit up. Don't kiss me because you're trying to distract me, or because it's part of some master plan I don't know about. I want you to kiss me for one reason alone, and that's because you want it. I do, I wish I could say. This is what I want more than anything. but the gun jabs me in the leg, reminding me of why I'm here and what I meant to do before I read the inscription on the spindle. This is what leads her to believe that Archie was the reason. Before everything that used to make sense all of a sudden didn't. They have a little bit of a conversation. And a little ways down, he says, he mentions he's falling in love with her. And she's like, "You're falling for me." The corners of his lips twitched. "Well, yeah, I assumed you knew that. I assumed you thought I was an untrusty girl who refused to explain anything. That too." He smiles. His smile fades before it has a chance to bloom. "You never answered me. What are you doing here?" I wince. Minutes have passed, and I still haven't come up with an adequate response. "Well, it's not to ravish me, that's for sure," he says. "If it were, we wouldn't be talking right now." He searches my face. "That means you must be here because of this." Before I can react, he plucks the gun out of the pocket of my pants. My jaw drops. How did you know that was there? He blinks at the weapon, whose metal glints ominously in the moonlight. I knew something was trying to brand itself on my skin, but holy crap, I didn't believe it was a gun. He rolls the weapon on his palm, weighing it, considering it from every angle. It would serve me right if he shot me. After all, I tried to kill him. He doesn't know I had a good reason, but so what? If I succeeded, he'd still be just as dead. "What are you going to do with me?" My mouth is as dry as the Kalahari Desert. He picks up my hand, smiles mock seductively, and then reaches past me to set the gun onto his desk. "What did you think I was going to do? Shoot you?" He glances at the weapon and shudders. "Was that your intention?" "Not anymore," I mutter. He shakes his head. "Am I supposed to thank you for that, or be annoyed because, I don't know, you plan to kill me?" "I want to trust you, Alice. My gut says you're a good person. But you sure aren't making it easy for me." Alright, so that's all I'm going to read from you. That's a good excerpt from that. However, I also want to point out that she's really, really funny. And you kind of get this scene I want to mention to prove that this is a really funny, it has humorous moments, is on the back of the book. And I'll read it to you. "Say the words and be done with it. Say the words. Say the words. I love you," I blurt. "That is all. Goodbye." I reel around, ready to sprint, when a hand snags my arm. His hand. "Wait a minute," Bandit says, his eyes 2% less bored. "Are we in 3rd grade? Do you want to give me a note asking if I love you back so I can circle yes or no?" My cheeks burn hotter than the sun assaulting my skin, hotter even than the flames that got me into this mess. I could really use that alien abduction right about now. The object of my supposed affection smirks. "We can skip the note. Can't say I blame you for falling for me. I mean, I'm a lovable guy. But have we actually met?" He lowers his voice. "Outside of your wildest dreams, that is." Actually, I think you find out they have met. They went to 3rd grade together. So, oops. But there is that. Okay, so I will be recording one other video today and probably part of a vlog. Maybe, I might not. And that video will be my series of unfortunate events rating, rating the books in it. So I will be in the same clothes, so it's not that I wear this every night. I just will be recording 2 videos tonight. Enjoy!